Pressman. My name is Dr. Stephen Safuediebua, and with me here I have
Isaac Usumensa. Paul Michael.
So we are the concerned NPP members in academia, and we wanted to come here and address the press on some pressing issues that are going around recently. Now, the theme for today's presentation is safeguarding the soul of the NPP, discipline, democracy, and honest dialogue in a transitional era. Good morning, esteemed members of the press, party faithfuls across Ghana, civil society observers, and all meaning Ghanaians. We, the concerned NPP members in academia, address you today to reflect on critical development within our great party. As loyalists, we believe that the NPP must remain a democratic, principled, and people-centered force across all phases and board. This is especially vital now as we are in opposition and must take deliberate steps to regain power. Upholding these principles, we believe that the old had been working with freedom, advancing our vision with purpose, aggressiveness in attaining power. Now, things are getting out of hand. These are our concerns today. First of all, the erosion of discipline and decorum, exemplified by our regional chairman, Abrony3-DC, alias Kwame Bafo, alias Abrony3-DC. The risk of an inverted and top-bottom or top-down approach in restructuring our electoral process is also of much concern to us. Thirdly, the need for honest, inclusive dialogue on identity and religion in our politics. Fourth, the need to make the Professor Mike Okay's report public for all to hear. Lastly, the need to expand the delegate base to include all former polling station executives. We will address them one by one in intent. First of all, we'd like to tackle the restoring discipline in the party. The NPP's tradition has long been defined by internal discipline, civility, and respect for institutions, values championed by our forefathers, our forebearers, people such as Dr. J.B. Dankwa, Chief S.D. Dombo, and Professor K.A. Buzia. Historically, our party has upheld these standards from such great people, and they do all these things with disciplining, high-ranking officials, and in fact, the party had gone through phases of elections and phases of campaigns, phases of oppositions, with our leaders very respectful, obedient to people. How come current chairman of this whole big party is going contrary and otherwise? The most glaring example is the unchecked conduct of Mr. Kwame Bafo, alias Abrony3-DC. While styling himself as a defender of the party, we all know that recently he is a speaker and advocate, or probably a supporter of His Excellency, former Vice President Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. Please, we demand and request that His Excellency should call Abrony to order. We know that the party executives called him, he didn't respond. He even referred to them as kangaroo cockles. Now, we academians are also demanding that the former vice president should also call him in order to put him to check. Secondly, We also like to tackle the dangers of the top-down restructuring approach or model. We express grave concern about this proposed structure plan, which prioritizing electing the presidential candidate first, followed by national, regional, constituency, and polling station executives. This top-down model contradicts the democratic principles that define our party, NPP, where power and legitimacy must flow from the grassroots upwards. With this, we believe that if we don't go by these patterns, the party faces serious risk and will be in danger in the 2028 coming elections. These are the risks that we think can show up if we don't change our minds. We therefore caution the national executives to listen to we, the academians, that if they don't change, these are the consequences. First of all, over concentration of power. We believe that electing the presidential candidate first grants them the disproportional authority and influence over the consequence in elections. Potentially, so please, we believe that electing the presidential candidate first grants disproportionate influence over subsequent elections. So please, I would like to take it again. Take it. The first point is I would like to take it. You can cut. Thank you. So the first point, over concentration of power. Electing the presidential candidate first grants them disproportionate influence over subsequent elections, potentially manipulating outcomes. Suppression of dissent. Party officials may hesitate to challenge the flag bearers' decision, fostering sycophancy rather than robust debate.
Suppression of dissent. Second point, you'd like to emphasize it again.
Okay, so I'd like to emphasize the second point again. Suppression of dissent. Sorry. Party officials may hesitate to challenge the flag bearers' decision, fostering sycophancy rather than robust debate. Weaken cohesion. Imposed loyalty from above undermines shared ownership, as structures may appear to serve one individual rather than the collateral will or collective will. Voter apathy. Grassroots members, the lifeblood of our party, may feel disenfranchised if their influence is diluted, risking disengagement and electoral losses. The NPP strength lies in its bottom-up approach, respecting polling station voices, maintaining internal checks and balances. We propose reverting to the original structure. 1. Begin with polling station elections. 2. Follow with constituency and regional elections. 3. Proceed to national executive elections. 4. Culminate in presidential primaries. Our third point, expansion and clearing of the party album. The decision by the National Council to expand the party album by 2 additional persons per polling station is a positive step. However, this expansion to be credible and meaningful, it must begin with fresh polling station elections conducted transparently across the country. Using the current album, we believe that it is already tainted by allegation of manipulation, will only deepen mistrust. Please let me take it again. Using the current album already tainted by allegations of manipulation will only deepen mistrust. The process must be clean, fair, and cascade through all levels of party structure. Importantly, we propose the former polling station executives to be included in the expanded album. These individuals have served the party loyally and should not be discarded in favor of political convenience. Their experience, dedication, continued grassroots influence are vital assets we cannot easily ignore. The party album must reflect the true will of the base, not the preference of any single faction. A credible album is not just a technical necessity, it is a test of our internal democracy. We would like to also expatiate more on the Professor Mike Okwe's report, which is a blueprint buried in silence. Okay, so please, let's take the fourth point. Sorry, let's take the fourth point. Please, let me drink water some more. My bottle. Sorry, please, sorry. Okay, so I'm taking the fourth point on religion and identity in Ghanaian politics, a call for honest dialogue. The role of religion and identity in our political discourse is a sensitive yet critical issue that demands attention. Recent discussions about the religious composition of national leadership, particularly for the 2024 and 2028 elections, have been dismissed as divisive or suppressed under the guise of national unity. We unequivocally condemn the religious bigotry and tribal chauvinism. Chauvinism. Is it chauvinism?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll take it again. We unequivocally condemn the religious bigotry and tribal chauvinism. We envision a Ghana where every citizen, Muslim, Christian, traditionalist, Ewe, Akan, or Dagomba is equally protected under the law. However, ignoring identity entirely is dishonest and dangerous. Religious and ethnic and religious identity, regional identity have historically shaped our voter perceptions, candidate selection, and collation in building in Ghana of. Please let me take it again. Most of sorry, let me take it again. No, no only pressure. Most of them they are felt for it. Okay, let me take it again. Please. And ethnic and regional identities have historically shaped voter perceptions, candidate selection, and coalition building in Ghana. From the nationalist movement to the Fourth Republic. Denying this reality cede ground to those who exploit identity in the shadow. We call for an honest, responsible national conversation on identity's role in politics, addressing 1. How to ensure broad-based representation in our parties. 2. How to manage religious perceptions in our pluralistic society. How to prevent silent resentment from exclusion. This dialogue must be factual, respectful, and inclusive, avoiding stigmatization. Mature democracies confront such issues openly, and Ghana must do so. The 5th point. A blueprint buried in silence. Following the party's unexpected and painful defeat in 2024 general elections, the leadership of the new Patriotic Party rightly commissioned a high-level fact-finding committee chaired by one of our most respected statesmen and scholar, Right Honorable Professor Aaron Mike Okoye. The purpose of this committee was clear: to investigate the root causes of our loss and provide practical recommendations for internal reform, healing, and strategic recalibration. The formation of the committee was widely applauded. It offered hope that the party was willing to confront its shortcomings with intellectual honesty and chart a better way forward. But months after the report submissions, its content remained unavailable to the very people who need it most. This is not just a communication lapse. It is a fundamental failure of organizational transparency and accountability. As we speak, Parliament, constituency executives, regional officers, and polling station leaders have not been briefed on the findings. Yet these are the very individuals whose actions and omissions shape the outcome of the 2024 elections. How can we say we have conducted serious introspection or research when those who may have either contributed to our losses or done things right have not even seen the results nor lessons drawn from them? We must ask, are we afraid of the findings? We must ask, are we shielding individuals or systems from accountability? We must ask, are we simply uninterested in the building a learning political organization? Whatever the case, the current silence around the report is a strategic mistake. It deprives the party of an opportunity to reflect on collectively on our weaknesses. 2, celebrate what was done well. 3, and course correct before embarking on the next electoral journey. We therefore respectfully but firmly demand that the Prof. Mike Okoye Committee report be made public and circulated across all levels of the party, particularly to those in leadership at the polling station, constituency, regional and national levels. A comprehensive executive summary to develop for ease of dissemination and training purposes. 3, the party hosts interactive regional and constituency level meetings to unpack the findings, allow feedback, and build consensus around reform priorities. Lastly, and also crucial, that the recommendations from the report be integrated into the broader restructuring and reorganization strategy rather than treated as an isolated academic exercise. In conclusion, we intellectuals remind our leadership that evidence-based reform is only meaningful if the evidence is shared and used. We cannot ask for loyalty from our base while upholding from them the insight needed to grow, improve, and win. If we do not make this report the bedrock of our rebuilding process, we will only repeat the same mistakes and worse same things for the party. Let us act with courage. Let us act with integrity. Let us make the findings of the Okoye Committee the beginning, not the end of serious reforms in the new patriotic party. Our closing remarks. Fellow Ghanaians and party faithfuls, the NPP has been a cornerstone of Ghana's democratic progress, but this legacy is not guaranteed. It must be defended against indiscipline, undemocratic restructuring, and intellectual cowardice. We call on the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to condemn divisive figures like Abrony and lead by example. 2, the National Council and NEC to reconsider the restructuring model and protect the party's democratic foundation. 3, all presidential aspirants to commit to civil campaign and inclusive politics. 4, the Ghanaian media and intelligentsia to foster open discourse on identity without fear or bias. 4, the party leadership to table before conference a motion to expand the delegate base to include all former polling station executives. Lastly, the party leadership to make the Prof. Mike Okoye's report public. Let us build a party and a nation where truth is embraced, power is not abused, and every Ghanaian feels valued and heard. Thank you very much for your time.
Sunrise.